I'm a registered professional civil engineer and have for the last 13 months served as the committee chairman for the development of the Ohio Infrastructure Report Card. With me today are several members of the committee. Rarely, if ever, has the need for infrastructure investment received such attention as it has lately in the context of stimulating our economy. In January of this year, the American Society of Civil Engineers released its 2009 report card for America's infrastructure. This national report card received significant attention by the administration and Congress and contributed to the debate on the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, which President Obama signed into law on February 17, 2009. Recognizing the importance of informing the public and contributing to the discussion, the Ohio Council of Local Sections, an affiliate of the American Society of Civil Engineers, decided to prepare the 2009 Ohio Infrastructure Report Card. The maintenance and improvement of Ohio's infrastructure is vital to not only our economy, but to our health, safety, security, and the environment. Today, we release the grade for 10 categories of our state's infrastructure, recommendations for improvement, and an estimate of over $45 billion to correct currently defined needs. For over a year, the committee has been gathering data from various sources to put this report together. Sources include a variety of local, state, and national agencies. The purpose of the report is to give the public and those that fund, design, build, operate, and maintain our infrastructure a reference when considering the conditions of our state's infrastructure. We hope this effort will spur public and legislative awareness of the risks before us and help prioritize maintenance and capital improvement programs. We encourage everyone to use the report in discussion with policymakers in order to help facilitate activities and efforts that will raise these grades. The report is neither an endorsement nor a critique of past or current policies nor administrations, but simply an effort by professional civil engineers throughout the state of Ohio to assess the current conditions of our infrastructure, which has not been done until now. The overall grade for the state's infrastructure is a C-, and the additional cost to bring all categories up to good condition is estimated to be over $45 billion. This figure is in addition to the current investment levels. It does not include the cost associated with design, land acquisition, inspection, or maintenance. Grades were assigned following a traditional A through F scale, with A being the highest and F being the lowest. In assigning grades, the committee considered these criteria: infrastructure condition, performance, funding, the capacity versus need. The grade determination was based on both publicly available data and the subjective judgments of the engineers serving on the committee. Despite the low grades and years of delayed improvement, the problems are not beyond our ability to solve. As stewards of the nation's infrastructure, civil engineers can provide the public and policymakers with expert advice on the condition and ways to improve the nation's infrastructure. To begin this task, ASCE included these 5 overarching key solutions to raise the grades in the 2009 National Report Card. First, increase local, regional, state, and federal leadership in infrastructure to address the current and future conditions of each system. Civil engineers should and will take the lead on this point. As members of ASCE and licensed engineers, we are obligated to safeguard the life, health, property, and welfare of the public. Second, promote sustainability and resilience in infrastructure to protect the natural environment and withstand natural and man-made hazards. Development today must not jeopardize the well-being of future generations. We must develop efficient and effective systems that utilize resources and minimize waste, as well as have an ability to protect and nurture the natural ecosystems in which they operate. Third, develop national, regional, state, and local infrastructure plans that complement a national vision and focus on system-wide results. Each of these categories cannot be viewed independently from the others. They are all interconnected and taken together allow us to continue to prosper and directly affect our standard of living. Fourth, address life cycle costs and ongoing maintenance to meet the needs of the current and future users. Infrastructure management works best when it applies the life cycle cost-benefit analysis. Experience has shown us that maintenance and rehabilitation of systems early in their design life often produce the greatest return. Since maintenance and rehabilitation strategies are less expensive than reconstruction, more systems can be kept at a higher level of performance than if an entire budget is consumed by rebuilding. Fifth, increase and improve infrastructure investment from all stakeholders. We can no longer count on traditional funding sources to to even meet our existing needs. We must begin to look at alternative sources of funding, whether it be user fees, private-public partnerships, or other forms. We offer more specific recommendations for action in Ohio for the 10 areas we assessed in the report card. This detailed information on grades and recommendations can be found in the full report through Ohio Council's website, www.ohioasce.org. At this time, I would like to introduce our featured speaker. We are extraordinarily fortunate and honored to have with us today the President-elect of the American Society of Civil Engineers, Mr. Blaine Leonard. Mr. Leonard is a two-time graduate of the University of Utah and a civil engineer registered as a professional engineer in several western states.